Hello friends, I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Today's video is a quick book review of a book called Elegance by Kathleen Tessaro. I have started going back to reading more physical text books. That's something that I've always loved, and over the last 12, 15 years or so, I had been doing a lot more reading on my Kindle, but because of the recent things that have been happening with Amazon and them locking your books onto the system and you can't read them outside of the Kindle system, it's really been a bugbear for me, amongst a lot of other issues that I've had with the Kindle ecosystem. So I'm now moving back towards my original love of reading physical books, and this is one that, first of all, I love the aesthetics. As you can see, it's got a really wonderful 1950s stylized illustration, and then they've done a black trim on the pages, and then it also has an inbuilt bookmarker. So all of that is lovely and it's elegant, and it can double very easily as a coffee table book. So this book, Elegance, True Love Never Goes Out of Fashion, apparently is based on a book by Genevieve Devereaux, who wrote an A to Z book of elegance. And basically, the author structures the whole book around the headings and the content of this other original book. And we follow Louise, who's the titular character. Spoiler alert, by the way. So if you plan on reading this book, please don't listen beyond this point because I do give some spoilers away. So Louise is basically in a loveless and intimate-less marriage, and she gets mistaken for being pregnant when she isn't, and this is the catalyst that makes her begin to look at herself and realize that somewhere along the line she's lost herself, she's lost her spark, her verve, and she's in her 20s. So it started off quite well. I thought that it was quite interesting. I got hooked into it, and I thought that the description of Louise and the characterization of her mother in law and to a certain extent her husband were really quite good. But that was as far as it went in terms of the depth for me. I feel that it sort of went downhill quite a lot, but I think that's because there was an expectations mismatch. I was expecting something just a little bit more deeper. It is a great surface level read, so I think this would have been more suitable for me on a holiday when I am reading not to deeply engage my brain and I'm just reading for just, surface level stuff, because I do think that that is what is in this book, because throughout it all, as we go through Louise's journey, some things are brought up that I just never dealt with. So, for instance, an eating disorder is just never addressed, aside from her just saying, "Oh, I have an eating disorder." And there's also something else. Oh, it just brought up that she was once using speed when she was in high school, which is, a drug. And it's never dealt with, it's never explained why she did that or how she then managed to get out of using that. And another one that I sort of really didn't understand was how she ended up in a marriage that had no intimacy in it at all, and she seemed to have been okay with it. And I just felt like she wasn't a very likable character at the end of the day. Some of the way that she treated her friends who were helping her and how she talked with them, it just didn't come across as, it came across as entitled to me. And yeah, and so I thought, on the one hand, I suppose maybe that's what the author was going for, but I found it very hard to root for her. One of the friends that was mentioned who was helping her as she was going through the divorce, because she suddenly decides that she's going to leave this husband that she hasn't been intimate with in years. She doesn't explain why, how she was able to put up with that, and with, yeah, it just a lot of it is, as I said, a lot of it isn't explained. It's very surface level. And she's got this friend called Rita, who, from what we can tell from what is given in the book, she seems to be somebody who's on the other end of the elegance journey, somebody who seems to be very self confident, very self aware, and doesn't feel the need to follow fashion trends. When she makes her food, she prepares her food delightfully, even though she's eating by herself. And we get glimpses into Rita. And I honestly thought I wanted to know more about Rita, rather than about Louise, because I just got to a point where I just got a little bit fed up because I thought, get over yourself. Now, the really good thing about this book, though, is that it introduced me to the works of Geneviève Dario. And so I went to get the Geneviève Dario book, and it is really good. And I'll be doing another book review of that one because I've started reading it as well. And I got the physical copy to read. So I do think that that's the good thing that came out of it. And again, as I said, I think it's an expectations mismatch. I think if you're going in there expecting a shallow surface read about elegance, then that is what you are going to get. You're not going to be getting something that has got, say, the depth that you get from Diana Gabaldon books like Outlander. Anyway, so that's all that I have today to say about this particular book. It's a nice one to keep on the shelf, and I think I will keep it just because it's very pretty to look at. And then my next book review, which I'm hoping to do next month, is going to be the actual A to Z of Elegance by Geneviève Dario. Until I see you next time, lovelies, I wish you blue skies, health, and happiness. Bye.